What's going on? Wolfpack TCG here. How's it going, guys? So I ran across an interesting post on Facebook where a lot of people are looking at their CB decks, and I've actually been pretty proud of this build. Me and Yen Morn have been going over it, playtesting it.
Hello.
There are going to be some certain changes. We're going to discuss about it, but figured I'd show you what I have and what I'm working with right now, and then this way we'll discuss those changes as it comes up. So starting off, the only 2/1 drop I have as a unit is going to be the O Gundam. I've seen people running Zaku 2s. Zaku 2's not bad. I just don't think it meshes with the flow, especially with the fact that you do want more CB units to get some of their effects off.
You do kind of want to max out on the CB units as much as possible.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's a 2/1 drop, it's a 2/2. You can pair it with any of the pilots, and that way it'll make your Virtue go live, or it becomes a base breaker, it becomes a target, whatever may happen. So the O is definitely recommended. Now the next part I'm going to kind of throw out is kind of been something I was playing around with, which I really did like. It's going to be Gundam. I'm probably going to butcher this. The
Hajiroboshi.
Yeah, Hajiroboshi. Is the 3/2 can become a blocker if a friendly base is in play. That does count your EX base, so don't let other people tell you otherwise, because a lot of people are trying to say it doesn't. But at this time, the EX base is a friendly base. Now, the great thing about that is it's a 3/2 normal unit unless you have a friendly base in play. So with that being said, things like Shenlong, if you don't have a base in play, can't pop it. Anything that states specific blockers cannot touch this if there's no base in play, meaning it is protected from specific effects. So, unless you have a base on field. But that is one conditional blocker. Now, the next one is, again, a conditional blocker, which is the Gundam Virtue. Really nice because, again, cannot be targeted if it's a blocker unless it meets its conditions. But it becomes a blocker if you have any CB pilots in play, which again, doesn't matter if they're linked, doesn't matter if they're paired. So long as you have a CB pilot in play, it becomes a 3/3 blocker. Really nice. Now, this next part is where I'm still kind of getting some information on. I'm debating on dropping Gundam Exia, the 4/2 one. It's a nice body. It becomes a 6/4 with Setsuna. But again...
Well, up to a 7/4 because of Setsuna's attack.
Well, yeah, we're not going to go into that until later, but,
But I digress.
Yeah, technically, its normal stats is going to be a 6/4, but that 4 health makes it an easy target nowadays. Was thinking about swapping this out for a third Transam, possibly a 4th Gundam Exia for the 5/4 drop, because then it gets 5 health when paired, or 6 if you pair it with Lock On. Yeah.
Plus, its ability to cycle through your deck, or help you cycle through your deck by allowing you to draw, is just really powerful. And especially in a color that's not typically having that draw power.
Yeah, so...
That's why I recommend the 4th, but I can also understand wanting to play the 3rd Transam.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of torn right now. But I mean, so far the deck itself has been running pretty solid. When the low drop Exia comes up, I mean, it's been pretty good, but I digress. And then, as we were just talking about, we're at this time running 2 out of the possibility of running 3 of the Gundam Exia Transam mode. This card is pretty stupid. Sucks that it's a 7/6, but with as busted as it is, I can understand that, because by itself it offers suppression, which is phenomenal. It is a 6/4 unit. If you do pair it with Setsuna, it becomes a 8.
It becomes an 8/5.
An 8/5, and then you have the effect where, if there is 10 or more CB cards in your trash and you deal a damage to the shield area, you get to just blow up a card with the lowest health.
Well, when you destroy an enemy shield area. So that includes bases as well. And let's say they've only got like their big hitter on board. You destroy a shield. there goes their big hitter.
That's why this card is so wild. I need to stop using that word for sure, but I digress. But yeah, so I mean, it's a debate between 3 and 3 or 4 and 2.
And did we mention that neither of those effects need to have Setsuna to work?
Oh, we did. The fact that you can, both the Gundam Exia 5-4 and the Gundam Exia Trans Am do not need Setsuna to pop off. I mean, you need them to swing turn 1, but I digress. So
and
that is very
thing
powerful.
About that level 5 though, that ability to also untap a resource at the end of the turn,
stupid good,
especially with a card you will see in a little bit.
And this is a card that I was talking to Yenmorn, and I feel a lot of people aren't paying as close attention to. People are looking at it,
well, we can talk about it in a little bit.
But we'll talk about that when it comes up. It is a command. Alrighty, going into some more of our units. So I love Lock-On. I think Lock-On's a really stupidly good pilot because on a technicality, most of the time you're going to pair it with a Curios of some sort. That gives you the link.
Wrong pilot.
I'm sorry. Hallelujah. I am so sorry. Been a day for myself, but Hallelujah is going to link with your Curios units. That is wild because his ability only requires to have a linked CB unit. So if you have Setsuna on field and you pair it with your blocker, he becomes unaffected by 3 AP or less targets, which is stupid in itself. Now, what's great about that is the 3-2 Curios, when you pair it or link it with Hallelujah at this time, becomes a 5-4.
Or if you just have any kind of pilot in play, it's a 5-4.
Yeah, I mean, the card by itself without a pilot is nice because when you have a CB pilot in play, so it could be paired or linked, during your turn it becomes a 4-3. You link it with Hallelujah, it becomes a 5-4 during your turn, unaffected by 3 AP or less. Really good just for running over and being a problem child. Sad part, it's a 3-4 during your turn, but again, 3 is still a kind of a nice number. I went with 2 of the Gundam Curios. The 5-3 drop during link, which again, most of the time you will try to aim for or have a high possibility of, during your turn when you destroy an enemy unit with battle damage. You can deal 1 damage to each enemy unit that is level 3 or lower. Now, Cyclops is a deck that is currently out. This is a all-at-once effect. It's a effect damage, so it doesn't stop you from dealing the 1 damage to the what is that promo? It's the F2Z.
The Zaku, yes.
The Zaku F2Z, which pops
Zaku 2 FZ.
FZ, thank you. That spawns the 2 balloon tokens. Now, it'll kill the balloon tokens, it'll deal 1 damage to it, and now it becomes susceptible to it. Especially if they have 2 of them with 4 tokens out. If you can get this effect off for them, you clear tokens.
That's also thinking if they're not running the Cyclops team base, which would give their tokens an extra. No, actually, I think that gives AP. Never mind.
I haven't looked at the base personally, but I mean, I digress. It's got the tokens have 1 health. And they don't come in rested. So, do they come in rested?
They have to come in rested and they can't untap.
Oh, and they can't untap. Okay. So, I mean, instead of wasting an attack to get there, it's a mini wing for a ping of 1. Love it. And again, if you swing at something and you can get this off, you don't take any damage because it's a link. So, that's one thing I love. I cut back on any mini links for Lock-On. Lock-On's great because you can get, it's just during pair. His during pair effect is really great by itself, so I said, screw it, Gundam Dynamis, the 4-3 drop, it's gonna get the recover 2 without him. He loses out on getting a +2 to his AP if it's not linked, but that's okay because it becomes a 2-4 that recovers 2. So low end units or other units that think it's going to be a problem are going to target it. And yeah, if you do get the lock on and you pair it, he becomes a 5-6 that recovers 2 every time he destroys an enemy unit. So, and that's an immediate heal. Most repairs don't take effect until end of turn, but I digress. So I decided to go with the 4 of that. Cut down on the sniping closed one. I really liked the 3-2 drop, but it's just, again, there's some better options. Now, going into the pilots, I feel like this is pretty standard for what I like to play pilot-wise. We're going to be obviously running the 4 Setsuna. We do want to see it because it's a great pair or link. It does not require it to be linked for its attack effect, which is what Yenborn was kind of talking about. On the technicality, when you attack with a unit that has Setsuna as a pilot, you get a +1 to your swing, technically making him a 3-1. Now, the great thing about him is if you have 7 or more CB cards in your trash, you can make all your CB units, including himself, get a +1. So, again, your Kyrios, your Dynamis, everything for that turn can get a +1, making it pretty ridiculously powerful.
Fun fact, all of the CB pilots in the deck do not require a link.
No, only one does.
Well, I meant like to be linked to the unit itself.
Oh yeah. Only. Well, the Kyrios does, but
it doesn't have to be linked to it, so it doesn't get the effect. It just as long
the 5-3-1 does.
Well, I'm not referring to the unit. I'm saying the pilots.
Oh.
To get the pilot effects.
No. Alleluia still states pilot has to be linked for its effect.
Yes, it has to be linked, not itself.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at.
Itself, yeah, but so long as there is a link, yes. But we want to clarify that. It does specify so long as there is a linked unit. Lock on, pretty self-explanatory. He's a 1-2. Great for giving him, putting him on blockers because they get an additional 2 health. If the blocker has already been on field for a while, you get to target a active unit for a swing that is equal to or less than the level of the unit he's equipped to. Really stupid, especially if you wind up getting that paired with the Exia. Just start running stuff over. And then Alleluia. I already butchered that, but Alleluia we've already talked about. I really want to run him at 4, but the way I've kind of set up the deck right now, I think 3 is really good. 4, 3, and 3. That's winds up typically being pretty close to the pilot ratio that I use for some if not most of the decks that I've been looking and operating, and they feel pretty good. So that's going to sum it up for the pilots. Now going into the commands. So earlier we were talking about some of the commands coming up. Fatal Strike I'm running at 2. The 4-2 isn't bad. The fact that you could choose a level 3 and pop it is really great. It has a burst of dealing 1 damage, but it's not live until level 4. Kind of one of the downsides to it. But this is where this new command really kind of caught me off guard. It is Look of Determination. This card, I feel, is going to kind of nutty. So it's a level 2 cost 2, and its burst is its action, but it's an action, so you got to keep in mind that it's an action and has to be targeting a active unit, which is okay because you're more likely to be able to use it on end phase or after you declare an attack. Really just depends on your situation, but its initial effect says you can choose 1 active enemy unit that is level 2 or lower, destroy it. Sweet. Gets stops a lot of rush decks. Really kind of puts that pressure on, especially if you have a Fatal Strike with that. Super great. Now, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can choose a level 4 or lower and destroy it. That late game level 4 or lower destroy is pretty dumb. So I really just think this card is going to be great. I don't see myself running 4 of it. Not in this deck. Fatal Strike kind of is a nice even out, so that way it doesn't become a fizzle. I do look forward to seeing it, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Because again, still in the midst of play testing it. Alrighty. And the last of our commands is going to be pretty stereotyped. Tactical Visionary, or as I like to, if you've watched any of our pack openings that we've been trying to get loaded into the shorts, I call it Tactical MILF, especially if you have the tournament pack version. Totally makes sense, but this is literally Schoolgirl and the Smuggler for Clan. If anybody's played Clan, you get to, it's a 1-1 too, so if you're forced to go first, you get to actively have a search for turn 2 to kind of fix your hand. It lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if there is a CB unit card or pilot, does not count as a command pilot, but most of your cards are CB, you can add that one to your hand and randomly place the bottom 2 to the deck. Really great for fixing hands, really great for if you're reaching for something. Tactical MILF is just phenomenal, so love it. I don't see, if you're running 3 of it, to each their own. I really highly suggest it at 4. It is such a great hand fixer. Now for the bases, these are the last 5 cards. I am running 3 of the, I don't know how to really pronunciate the ship, the Polydamas, the CB base. This thing is nutty for a couple reasons. I've had it set up where I have the Cerave and the Hiraboshi on field, but I don't have a pilot, so the Cerave becomes useless. Well, I can swing with the Cerave, creating a rested unit, and it is a 3/3, so that means I can crack your EX base or slap a shield. Now I have a rested unit, and because it's a CB unit that's rested, you cannot, if you have a level 3 or lower, can't touch my base. So they're forced to swing at the Cerave, which means I can then either let them hit the Cerave, or I can block with Hiraboshi for a 3/3, and then they still have to get through the Cerave swinging at that as well. So that's 2 possible units that they have to lose. Really great, really, I really like it. I can't see myself running it at 4. And the reason for that is because you can actually substitute the 4th for Underground Desert Base. You're already running green. This is one of the better green bases because, again, it's 6 health. It doesn't have any special perks. It doesn't have any special things outside of the fact that, again, it has 6 health. That's kind of hard to get through sometimes early game. So that is pretty much my version of CB. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see what your guys are thinking about, how you're running it. Feel free to let us know your thoughts, your dislikes. Maybe, you know, if there's some other crazy tech I might have missed between GD01, 02, 03. I just had a weird epiphany when it came to this deck on Friday, and I threw it together. I started talking with Edmorn about it, and it's been doing pretty solid. I'm gonna try and get it going in a tournament and see how I feel about it from there. Things are about to get really crazy now that we have 3 sets out. We're up to 8 starter decks, if I remember correctly. 08 just released with the CB and the Mafty. Mafty is gonna be pretty fun to play. They've got some really good units that came out in GD03 for support, so I'm hoping this CB does pretty good. And as much as I love Wing, I definitely want to find something that lets me have fun playing it and that I enjoy a lot. So IBO especially got the support it deserves. So, but yeah, let us know your thoughts, your comments, your dislikes, your likes, and we look forward to seeing you guys in more videos. Y'all don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. This is Leo tuning out. Wolfpack TCG. Later.